Hello, Monday. Man, am I tired and worn out. It was a Super Bowl yesterday. The Rams did win, like I predicted. I also predicted that Cooper Kupp would get 2 touchdowns and have the winning touchdown, and I predicted that right as well. Predicted that with my friends. I should have bet, but I didn't. In any case, so today is Monday. Usually I go through what happened over the week, just different things where I do movie reviews, trailer reviews. Instead of, just doing them individually, I just kind of lump it all together in one long video. And you guys can watch it if you want. And sometimes I section it off and do clips of it throughout the week if I think it's kind of an important story. So, yes, I have a nut in my teeth. So, yes, Doctor Strange, a full trailer came out. We get to see a whole lot of stuff, a lot of questions. I will say, just right off the bat, Doctor Strange is one of my favorite MCU movies of all time. I think it's the best number one movie. So, like, you got against Thor 1, Iron Man 1, Captain America 1, Ant-Man 1, Spider-Man 1, stuff like that. I think Doctor Strange is the best one. So I'm actually super pumped for Doctor Strange 2. It's definitely probably my most anticipated film of the year. So we got a trailer. I can't play really the trailer for you, but we can skip through it and kind of see things, talk about what happens. So, you got opens up. There's like a little war. This, I'm not really sure what's going on here. Looks like some power thing. I heard it was like America Chavez right there. You can see. Now, obviously, he's going through different dimensions and different realities and all sorts of stuff and things like that. If you haven't seen the trailer already, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. Unless you don't want, some people don't like it because they're gonna see the movie anyways and they get it spoiled. Sam Raimi, that was interesting. He's directing it. He's the original Spider-Man stuff. So basically, he teams up with Wanda. This was all kind of in the first trailer. Some really cool visual stuff. This is where it gets interesting. So he messes with realities, and he has to sit here in front of this council, which is the Illuminati. Yes, the Illuminati. Now, he's part of the Illuminati, so maybe this is where he joins. But you can hear, during this scene right here, you can hear, guess whose voice you can hear? Patrick Stewart's voice, Professor X, because Professor X is part of the Illuminati. So, what does that mean? So that means that maybe this is how we get introduced to the X-Men in the MCU. Maybe it's kind of like they're from a different reality, a different universe, and they get merged into this universe. So we'll get, Fantastic Four and X-Men, and maybe some people are thinking like for example, when the end of the world's always happening with the Avengers, why didn't the X-Men step in? Well, maybe they weren't part of that universe, that reality. So maybe they're part of a different reality, and these realities get merged. And so that's how we get the Fantastic Four and X-Men, and maybe that's how we get Iron Man. Yeah, I always thought that, big characters like Iron Man and Captain America, and the actors age and they can't do it anymore, like Robert Downey Jr. But do you think Marvel is going to just get rid of their Iron Man, their cash cow, so to speak, and all the other characters, they just kind of fade away and you don't get them anymore? There's only so much replacing you can do. So I always thought that they would get into a different reality or come from a different time or something like that. So maybe this is how they all come back. So, yes, we get Professor X, some cool visual stuff. He has to fight his evil self, evil Doctor Strange. That's cool. Where is there? That's Shuma Gorath. Now, interesting thing about this one I'm not touched on. So there's this little stupid blog thing that goes through each little thing, talking about what you get, all the same things that I was talking about. Another Doctor Strange. Look, he has a little different, clothes on. You also get Another Doctor Strange where he's like a zombie Doctor Strange. See, it's towards the end. Right here, get this zombie-looking Doctor Strange. See if I can play it. Oops. Oh well, went away. But there's this scene right here. So they're calling it Gargantos. And the only reason they're calling it Gargantos is because... I'll show you what Gargantos looks like. This is Gargantos. This is a Submariner villain. Right here. And so that's what they're calling it. It's not. The only reason they're calling that is because they made a Lego set, and they called this Lego set Gargantos. See right there, right where it says 8 plus 76205 Gargantos. Now, that's one of two things. Either that's incorrect, or it's a misdirection. They knew that this would have to leak because they have to come out with this stuff way before the movie comes out so they can have it timed perfectly. And it takes way longer to make this stuff. So it could be it's a misdirect, like they say Gargantos because they don't want to give away that Shuma Gorath is in the movie. So they call it Gargantos. And then, or they're going to change it the last second. Like this is like kind of, it's really easy just to put in a new printing right here. Maybe this is like just a little like Photoshop. But it's Shuma Gorath. That's who it is. It's not Gargantos. No one knows who that is. Appeared like one time in the Submariner thing. And Shuma Gorath has to do with Doctor Strange. So that's kind of like my review of what I think of the trailer. If you guys haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's great. Fantastic. I'm super excited for it. All right, moving on. Next, we got my review of the Book of Boba Fett. Now, if you watch some of these, you can see my reaction to what I thought of the show. So, episode 1, chapter 1, or whatever they want to call it, I was like, it's kind of like whatever, I don't know. By episode 2, I remember my girlfriend watched it and was like, this is very boring. I was like, yeah, it's pretty boring. It was so boring that I didn't watch chapter 3 and I didn't watch chapter 4. And I watched reviews of it, people talking about it, and they're like, yeah, it sucks, it's terrible. A lot of people gave up on the show, which I did. But then when we got to chapter 5, that's when the whole show changed. And it got way, way better. Because it wasn't the Book of Boba Fett anymore. It was the Mandalorian 0.5? I don't know. It was just the Mandalorian show. And the Mandalorian is such a better character than crappy Boba Fett, who's old, slow, dumb. Like, Boba Fett should be a side character. Whoever wrote Boba Fett had a few lines of dialogue in the original trilogy. And obviously is in the comic books. But whoever decided to write this character, Boba Fett, made him the most boring character, worthless character. He should just be a side character. That's what he's good at, is just being there as a side character. And I don't know. It's hard to rate this series because episode 5, 6, and 7 were great. But it wasn't the Book of Boba Fett at that point. He was barely even in it. At episode 7, he was in it. But 5 and 6, he was not even in them. Like, I think he had like one line between the two episodes. Like, so as a Book of Boba Fett show, it was terrible. Terrible. As the Mandalorian show, it was awesome. I loved it. So, I don't know. Whoever wrote, I hope they fire whoever made this character who he is, and they rehire someone else to do a bunch. If they come out with a season 2, or I don't know what they're doing with this. And just the subject matter, the whole thing was so stupid. I get it. They don't want to do the same thing as the Mandalorian. All right, the Mandalorian, he's going off on adventures, doing bounties and things like that. You can't have the Book of Boba Fett and he's a bounty hunter and he's doing the same thing. Newsflash, he is a bounty hunter. So he should do bounty hunter things. But they wanted to make a difference. So they do this stupid storyline, how he's in the desert and there's some political disputes. And it's like, I don't want to hear about some political drama. This is my land. You have to pay me money if you want to cross your drugs across my land called spice. And it's like, and he's like, I have no idea why he's even there. Even at the end, he's like, why am I even here? Like, why did you, this is not even his hometown. Why is he fixated on staying here? What's, like, I want to know, like, what kind of, like, reason is he on that planet to begin with? The reason why he's on the planet is because he got eaten by the Sarlacc pit. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Why are you there? Why are you just chilling there and decide, like, you know what, I'm going to help out this planet randomly, and I'm going to stay here and take over Jabba's throne and do political dealings? It's like, really? Are you kidding me? That's your show? You want to settle land disputes and water disputes? That's boring. That is a terrible idea for a show. It only got good when the Mandalorian came in and he's going on his adventures and stuff like that, and there's some actual action. And I'm just remembering some of the pitiful action that he was in before the Mandalorian showed up. But it was so... They should have summed up chapter 1 through 4 in one episode. I don't want to see him bonding with the Sand People. Oh, the Sand People are misunderstood, and they're actually this really cool culture, whatever. I don't care. I don't care about the Sand People. I don't care about how you're super weak, you got captured, and you just... I don't even know what you did. You stopped to train so they could have water, but then they ended up dying anyways. And it's just like the whole 1 through 4 is just like, why? Why are you on this planet, Boba Fett? Why are you here? Why are you settling political debates with the mayor and on a planet you're not even from originally, that you don't care about? It's literally let's see, what's a state I've never been to? I've never been to Nebraska. Imagine if I went on a business trip to Nebraska and I got captured because I deal with comic books. I don't know why I get captured, but I got captured. And then I got free. You know, someone took me hostage, a gunman, whatever. Then I get free. And I decide, instead of going back to where I'm from or going back to the job I had or any of that stuff, I decide I'm going to stay in Nebraska and then I'm going to become the mayor of Nebraska and deal with all the little political dealings of Nebraska. Why? I have zero ties there. Why? So the show, personally, was stupid, and boring. It wasn't until the Mandalorian came that it turned around. But that's because the Mandalorian is great. Boba Fett sucks. You know? I like this joke that I said it in one of my other reviews. It's like, he was so pitiful. Like, if you sent Boba Fett to go on a mission to steal candy from a baby, the baby would steal the candy from him. That's how pathetic he is. He's just, I don't know. They should have got a new actor because the actor that played him refused to lose weight and kind of is like sluggish and slow. And it's like, I don't know. They should have done the Book of Boba Fett like in his prime. That's what they should have done. Prime Boba Fett, not this washed up, boring, doesn't kill anybody. He's a bounty hunter. He should have done, I'll show you. This is what a real bounty hunter looks like. Boom, slice. Let's cut this guy in half. Exactly. That's a real bounty hunter, right? That's what a real bounty hunter looks like. Not Boba Fett. Boba Fett could not bounty hunt anyone. Anyways, so my review is, until the Mandalorian showed up, it sucked. So, I don't know what to give it. I can't say that. The first 4 episodes, in my opinion, were like a 2 or a 3 out of 10. And then it ramped up instantly to probably like an 8 out of 10. So, it's really hard because would I recommend someone watching this? I would recommend someone just starting at episode 5. That's what you don't even need to see 1 through 4, right? Mandalorian shows up, and it's just like another adventure of Mandalorian. He hangs out with Baby Yoda. He gets his little little suit, his little Baby Yoda suit, who also fights in the battle as well with his little Baby Yoda suit. And then episode 6, they plan their attack or something like that. I can't remember. And more Baby Yoda and Mandalorian stuff. And then episode 7, it's a big giant battle. You don't even need to see 1 through 4. I don't even know. It gives really no context. All of a sudden, these people come out and they just want to battle, and the whole town wants to battle anyways. You see Cad Bane, who's awesome. he dies, but some people say he's not dead. Who knows, really? But anyways, that's my review. I don't know. If you're a diehard fan, you're gonna have to watch it. Like I am. I gotta watch it. Although people say, but you skipped 3 and 4. I'm like, yeah, my time is a little more valuable. Like I don't want to. Like my time is more valuable to watch something else. Like I was watching Peacemaker instead of watching terrible episodes. So I never saw 3 and 4, but I don't need to see them. See, I skipped them and I understood everything was going on. See? That means it's a bad show. If you can literally skip episodes and still feel like you saw the whole thing, it's a bad show. So I literally only saw 1 and 2 and then 5 through 8. You could do the same thing. You don't need to see the other ones. They add nothing to the story, just a lot of boringness. God, so bad. Anyways, moving on. Okay, what do we got next? Okay, Jurassic World trailer dropped. It has them all back. I don't know. Nothing too special. It's cool that they're all back, though. Yeah, Malcolm. I hope a lot of people get eaten. Like, I want to see people eaten, but it's PG-13, so that's the thing that's kind of stupid is you can't show people get eaten in PG-13 movies. Like, you can, but you can't show any blood or dismemberments or anything, so they have to eat them whole. And what are the only things that can eat something whole is like a T-Rex, this one gulp, right? You can't show like a velociraptor picking them apart. I don't know. So when you have dinosaurs and they're roaming in America, like, you kind of need them to eat people, and they're not going to. I don't know. You know how I feel about PG-13 movies. Anyways, I just saw this was interesting. The only thing that got any sort of love from the Oscars is, in comic terms, Shang-Chi got visual effects and Spider-Man No Way Home got visual effects. Really, like, the Oscars are so stupid. They don't consider, superhero movies as good movies. Instead, you have best actor and best directing and all that kind of stuff goes to movies I've never heard of. I don't know. I've never seen any of these movies, and I guarantee you most people never saw any of these movies. The Lost Daughter. I have no idea what that even is. I don't even know what any of these movies are. Being Ricardo is the only thing I know about this is because it's Amazon Prime. It's pasted everywhere. Never watched it, though. West Side Story. Heard that movie bombed. Why are you in the Oscars if it bombed? Like, lost a ton of money. No one liked it. Why are you in the Oscars? King Richard. I know that's that Serena Williams' sisters. I don't really know their names. Serena Williams and her other sister. Whatever. Will Smith movie. Never watched it, though. I know what Dune is. I watched 15 minutes of it and fell asleep. Got it free on HBO Max. And yeah, I fell asleep. I was like, oh gosh, this is boring. Trade disputes. Same things like Boba Fett. Trade disputes and who's going to be king and blah, blah, blah. I watched the original Dune a long time ago and fell asleep as well. So I knew I knew this was a good snoozer for me. This is kind of nice. Pop it on. I know people are probably going, you got to give it a shot. I'm like, I don't want to spend like 2.5 hours watching something I have little interest in watching. I got to be interested. And the only movies I'm really interested in are superhero stuff, comic book stuff, and some sci-fi. And then I watched called 4 Days with Mila Kunis. She's a heroin addict trying to get sober. I thought that was good. I watched Anthony Hopkins movie, The Father, dealing with dementia, but it's filmed from his point of view. Highly recommend. He actually won an Oscar for it last year. That was a great movie. So I watch other non-superhero stuff that are good as well, but Dune was a snoozer. Same with what was that other movie I tried watching was a snoozer? Harrison Ford and the guy from The Notebook. I'm blanking on the name. It was a sci-fi movie in the 80s, and they redid it, or they continued it with like, I hate, you guys can correct me, man. Oh man, What is that movie? It's going to drive me insane. I literally have to look it up or I'm going to go insane. And Blade Runner, the new Blade Runner. Fell asleep during that movie too. I fall asleep. That's what I think I've said this before in reviews. I know a movie's good if it can keep me awake. That's why I know it's good. If I fall asleep during it, me personally, I don't find it good. Let's see. Russell Crowe. He was cast in something. Where is he? Joining the MCU. Oh yeah, he's in Craven. He's in Craven. It comes out Craven the Hunter, solo bad guy film. Who could he be? Because Aaron Tyler Johnson will star as Craven the Hunter himself. So I don't know. Maybe he's going to be Craven's dad. I mean, wasn't he Superman's dad? He was Superman's dad, Jor-El. So he's going to be Craven's dad probably and teach him all the Craven-y things and be like backstories and flashbacks. That's my guess. Last piece is a little thing that I find interesting, but it hasn't ended yet. A Fantasy 15 cover. Just the cover. Not even a good shape cover. Just the cover. Split in half. Pieces missing. Falling apart. This would definitely be a 0.5 if it was the whole book. It's an auction for almost $7,000. What will this end at? Let's take a guess. Ends in 2 hours. I can see it go in 8 or 9, or who knows? I don't even know anymore. I can see it. I wouldn't be that shocked if it went above 10. Let's put it. I would be very shocked if it went above 15,000 just for the cover. Just for the cover. That's insane. To think, I was buying. It's like there's an interesting thing you do, and it's funny when I read the comments and I can tell when someone started collecting or getting into comics, because like, oh, prices are crazy. I remember getting this book at blah 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 blah, and it's like, well, times change, and that's what happens, right? Because I remember picking up these books for like $1,000, an actual Fantasy 15 for $1,000, and so you have to, as like a comic book dealer, you have to remove yourself from that. Like, and some people are like, it's not worth more than this. Why? Because you bought it for that back 10 years ago? You bought a Fantasy 15 for $1,000 in a 2.0 like 10 years ago? So when you see something like this, a cover going for $10,000, you're like, oh, it's not worth that. That's the thing is, like when my brother got money and wanted to invest in comic books, and I told him, get a bunch of Hulk 181s, Giant Size X-Men ones, all the same thing, and I tell every person, right? And so he got a bunch of those books, and he would just straight up wouldn't haggle with anyone, just straight up buy it now on eBay, or he would just straight up go on Comic Link and pay whatever price it was. Because in his mind, he just got into it, so that is what they're worth. But if you went back 2 years ago, instead of, I don't know what he paid for them, I can't even remember anymore, but instead of like $4,000 for a Hulk 181, people are paying like $2,000, so your perception is that it's worth $2,000. And why would someone pay double that price for? But as someone just coming in, they're like, no, Hulk 181s are $4,000 at this grade. That's what it is. And that's the thing with comic books, is one day, you'll see a Fantasy 15 and a 2.0 going for $100,000. Yes, one day you'll see that. A Fantasy 15 and a 2.0 going for $100,000. Now, you out there who remember getting a Fantasy 15 at 2.0, I don't know what a 2.0 is worth now, like 25,000, 30,000, somewhere around there. You'd be like, oh my gosh, I got mine for 25,000 at 2.0, in 2021, 2022. That's what they're worth. If someone's paying $100,000, oh, they're massively overpaying. It's like, no, the person just joining in, they don't know the difference. That's what it's worth. That was the starting point for them. That's like if I looked at stocks. I got into Tesla stock before the split at $170 or something like that, $180. Now it's up to like $800 after the split. It's already split multiple times. So you can't just say, well, I want it for $180. No, times change. Things go up. Is what it is. I know stocks and comps are a little different. But my point is that one day these things will go, no one even saw it at this price, but one day these will be even, $1 million for a comic book was unattainable a decade ago. Unattainable. Now they're going for $1 million, quite not commonly, but like there's definitely a bunch of books that have hit the $1 million mark. One day you're going to see more books hit $1 million books. You're going to see Hulk 1 hit $1 million. You're going to see, Journey Mystery 83 hit $1 million. All that stuff, top grade. I would not be surprised if an Ultimate Fallout 4, Ultimate Fallout 4, if you can get a 9.9, if you get the Soul 990, that will hit $1 million. There's a Hulk 181 that's a 9.9. I believe it sold for $150,000. I don't know, like 10 years ago or something like that. That book is worth over $1 million. Think about that. A Hulk 181 is worth over $1 million, guaranteed. If that 9.9 win auction, it'd probably go for like $2-3 million now. I would not be surprised to see a 9.8 at $1 million many decades from now. Yes, a 9.8. I mean, now they go for, I already know what they go for now. A lot. But yeah, I could definitely see that. If a giant size X-Men 1 is almost $100,000, pretty soon you're going to hit Hulk 181, 9.8 is going to go for $100,000. Next thing you know, it's going to be going $250,000, $500,000, $1 million. All right, that's it. Have a great day. And if you guys wanted the Rams to win, then you'd be pretty happy.